Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. Children, let's start with a new lesson in Scholarship English for Standard 8th. And as we know, we are doing the language study part now. We have moved on from the vocabulary section, and today we will be starting with the second lesson in your language study part. That is, we will talk about lesson number 3.2, that is tenses. So we are first going to take a look at what the meaning of tenses is. Then we will try and understand what are the different kind of tenses and then how they are further subdivided. Okay, and then we will look at questions based on tenses like we always do for every scholarship lesson. And let me tell you that from this lesson onwards, I have tried to introduce a kind of thing where I will be giving you some time to think about the answer. Okay, so that will be more interesting also for you. So come on, let's move on to our lesson for today, 3.2 tenses. So we start by understanding what the meaning of tenses is. So tense means it is a form of a verb that shows if something happens in the past, in the present, or the future. Okay, so a tense has got something to do with the verb or something to do with the action. And when you talk about a tense, what is the main thing that a tense denotes? The tense denotes the timeline. Okay, that is when you talk about a particular action, whether the action is happening right now or whether it has already happened or whether it is supposed to happen or it is planned to happen somewhere in the future at a later date. So verb is a tense is a form of a verb that shows whether something has happened in the past, in the present or the future. So this is the meaning of tense for you. Then there are three main tenses. Which are the three main tenses? We have past tense, present tense and future form. Okay, so we have something which is happening now, we call it present. Something which has happened before now, we call it as past. And something which might happen after now, we call it as future. So there are three main tenses. And these three main tenses are also again divided, or you can say that each of these tenses, three main tenses, they can take four main aspects. So that is simple. Each of these tenses could be in the simple form. It could be in the continuous form. It could be in the perfect form or the perfect continuous form. Okay, and perfect is also sometimes called as progressive form. Okay, so remember this. What is a tense? It is a form of a verb, and there can be three main kind of tenses: past, present, and future. And the past tense again is divided into four types or parts, or it has got four aspects. The present tense also has got four aspects, and the future tense also has got four aspects. So this, in short, in a nutshell, is the meaning of tenses. Okay, now we will take this idea forward and we will take a look at the different types of tenses also. Okay, so now see the tense. The tense is present, past and future. And here you have the four aspects. That is a simple aspect, the continuous aspect, the perfect aspect and the perfect continuous aspect. Now let us try to understand this chart better. Let us take one tense at a time and study all the four aspects of that particular tense. So the first one here is present tense. Okay, present. Present means what? Something which is happening right now. Okay, in the present, now time. Present tense. Now, look at the four aspects of the present tense. The first one is present simple, or you can say simple present tense. And let's take a look at the example for simple present tense. We have he drives a car. simple present tense. He drives a car. Now, sometimes simple present tense can be used for things which are facts. For example, we say the sun rises in the east. It is simple present tense. And sun rises in the east is also a statement. It is a fact. It is a universal truth. Okay, so simple present tense are usually used for making a statement or for establishing a universal truth or for saying a statement which is a universal truth. Then we come to the next aspect of the present tense, and that is the present continuous tense. It is in the present, of course, but it is a continuing action. Look at the example. He is driving a car. He has not done it in a time before now, or he is not going to do it in a time after now. He is driving a car. So, right now, he is driving. He is in the process of driving a car. Third one, present perfect tense. He has driven a car. Okay, so he has driven. It is something which has happened already, but it is not past. Okay, he could still be, that experience is still with him of driving a car. So, see, he has driven a car. Has. When we say has, it is present tense. Coming to the last form in the present tense, it is present perfect continuous tense. Look at the example. He has been driving a car since morning. So, he is in the process of driving a car and he's been doing it since morning, but he might still be doing it. He has been driving a car since morning means he might still be doing it. Okay, so these are the four aspects of present tense. You have simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. Moving on, let's go to the next tense, that is the past tense. Okay, so you have the simple past. He drove a car. You have the past continuous tense. He was driving a car. The past perfect tense. He had driven a car. So you see, the has is the present, but when you change the has to had, then it becomes a past perfect tense. Okay, so pay attention to these small details. And past perfect continuous is he had been driving a car since 6 a.m. So the has been becomes had been. All right, and the morning has become 6 a.m. So he was in the process of driving a car since 6 a.m. and now he might have stopped. Okay, then we come to the last tense that we have for the day, that is future tense. Now sometimes people call it as future form also. Now simple future, he will drive a car. Okay, future continuous. When there is continuous, you see the verb takes an ing. All right, see, in the present simple present, the verb, which is the verb here, the drive is actually the base form of the verb. In simple present, drive became drives. Okay, everywhere in the continuous tense you will see that the drive becomes driving, whether it is the continuous present continuous tense or present perfect continuous tense. The verb takes a ing. Okay, and for the perfect tense it takes a en, or the fourth form of the verb. All right, so let us look at the future continuous tense here. He will be driving a car. Okay, he will be driving a car. Future perfect tense. He will have driven a car. Again, you will notice that in future forms, the word will appears in all the examples. So this is one more way of identifying the future form, whether it is simple, whether it is continuous, whether it is perfect or perfect continuous. He will have driven a car. Then you have the future perfect continuous, which says he will have driving a car at 6 a.m. tomorrow. He will have driving a car at 6 a.m. tomorrow. That is the perfect as well as the continuous. So you have the have there and you also have the ing form of the verb there. Okay, so this in short is what the 12 tenses for you. 12 how? We have present simple, present continuous, present perfect, present perfect continuous. So that is 4. In the same way you have for the past and you have for the future. So in total you have 12 types or kinds of tenses. Alright children, so now let's move on and let's take a look at what we have now. So the present tense, let's revise once again. Present tense is divided into present simple, present perfect, present continuous and present perfect continuous. Okay, what about the past tense? Again we have past simple, past perfect, past continuous and past perfect continuous. When we come to the future tense, you have future simple, future perfect, future continuous and future perfect continuous. So these are the 12 types of tenses for you. Now we move on and take a look at one more chart where we can see various examples. Okay. Now at this stage, I want you to stop this video here, pause it here and read the examples properly. So see, simple, simple present. He uploads videos on YouTube. Present continuous, he is uploading videos on YouTube. Present perfect, he has uploaded videos on YouTube. Perfect present continuous or present perfect continuous, he has been uploading videos on YouTube. Coming to the past tense, simple past, he uploaded videos on YouTube. Past continuous, he was uploading videos on YouTube. Past perfect, he had uploaded videos on YouTube. Past perfect continuous, he had been uploading videos on YouTube. Coming to the future tense. Simple future, he will be uploading videos on YouTube. Future continuous, he will have uploaded videos on YouTube. Future perfect is, he would have been uploading videos on YouTube. And future perfect continuous, he would have been uploading videos on YouTube. Okay, so these are the various example sentences. So take your time and read them till you understand them. Now we go to the main part of our lesson. So in a scholarship lesson, we do a little bit of explanation and then we go and we check out the question paper patterns or the question patterns as they might appear in your exam paper. So there are basically 4 patterns which could be asked, 4 types of questions which could be asked based on this topic. The first one is fill in the blanks using the correct tense form. So you have to select a word which will be correct and which can be used in the blank. Then you have choose the correct sentences from each set. So there will be a set of sentences. There will be 4 sentences because we are given 4 choices, right? Out of the 4 sentences, 1 will be correct. The other 3 will be incorrect. So you have to choose which sentence is correct. Then you have identify the correct tense forms in the given sentence. So there will be one sentence given to you. You have to identify in which form or which tense the verb is. Finally, choose the correct tense forms of the verbs to complete the conversation. So conversation is what? When 2 people are talking, it is a conversation. So you will have a question asked and an answer, okay, to the question. There you have to fill in the blank or you have to select the correct tense forms. Now, as I always tell you, when I explain the pattern to you, you might not understand. But when we solve the questions based on the patterns, you will definitely, it will click with you. So are we ready? Let's move on to the first question for today. So question 1 in pattern 1. And like I told you, I have made a small improvement here in this video. So hope you will enjoy it. So fill in the blank using the correct tense form. Here is the question for you. I dash the dishes right now. I dash the dishes right now. So is it I done the dishes? I will be doing the dishes? I am doing the dishes? Or I had done the dishes? So these are the four options for you. Option number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now here is the interesting part which I have introduced for you. So children, every time I tell you, pause the video and try to find out the answer yourself and then replay the video. Now let me help you with the pausing. So I will be giving you a clock now for 11 seconds. And when I start playing the clock, that is your time where you will think. Okay, so for every question, I'll give you around 10 seconds to think and then we will see the answer together. Okay, so come on, your clock starts now. So your time is up. And what is the answer? It is I am doing the dishes right now. Okay, so I hope this exercise or this small thing which I've included in this video for you makes it more interesting or interactive for you. Alright, so you will have to now think about the answer. I'm giving you time to think about the answer in each question. So, I am doing the dishes right now. Okay, moving on. Let's go to question number 2. I dash a sailor for the past 10 years. Alright, what are the options? I had been a sailor. I was a sailor. I has been a sailor. I have been a sailor. So what is the correct answer? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Again, put on your thinking caps. Your time starts now. And the answer is answer number 4, option number 4. I have been a sailor for the past 10 years. Okay? Because they've said past 10 years, you've selected have been. Means I'm still a sailor. If there was no 10 years here written here, no time frame was written, then you can select had been. I had been a sailor. Alright. Moving on to the next example. Number 3. Long before bedtime, Rahul dash his homework. Rahul will complete his homework, will have completed his homework. Rahul am doing his homework. Rahul had done his homework. So which one will be the correct answer? Let's start the clock. And the answer is, yes, it is the second one. Long before bedtime, Rahul will have completed his homework. Okay, so this is a kind of a prediction. Alright, come on. Now let's move on to the next example, example number 4. Here it is for you. The baby is not well. It dash all morning. So it cries all morning. It is crying all morning. It had cried all morning. Or it has been crying all morning. So which one could be the right answer? Come on, here is your timer. And the answer is option number 4. The baby is not well. It has been crying all morning. Okay, and then we come to the last example in this pattern, and that is many villagers dash by the terrorists. Many villagers dash by the terrorists. So what could be the answer? Many villagers have hanged by the terrorist. Many villagers has been hung by the terrorists. Many villagers have been hung by the terrorists, or many villagers have been hanged by the terrorists. So let's see which one will be the right answer. Here goes your clock. And the answer is option number 4. Many villagers have been hanged by the terrorists. Okay, so this was the first pattern of questions which might be asked based on this topic. Let us now move on to pattern 2, where you have to choose the correct sentences from each set. So here is your first set of sentences. You have to select one of them because one of them is right, the others are not. So we have option number 1, which says the grass have turned dry because of the searing heat. The grass had turned dry because of the searing heat. The grass have been turning dry because of the searing heat. And the grass turning dry because of the searing heat. So which one is the correct answer? Come on, let's come to timer Baba. Here it goes. And the sentence which is correct is option number 2. The grass had turned dry because of the searing heat. Searing means intense heat, because of too much of heat. Okay? Come on, now let's move on to the next example in this pattern. Same question pattern. There are 4 sentences. A stitch in time is saving time. A stitch in time is saving time. A stitch in time had saved time. A stitch in time saves time. So which one is the right answer? Here comes the timer. And the answer is option number 4. A stitch in time saves time. Actually, the original saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9. That is, if you put one stitch on time, then you will not have to put 9 stitches afterwards. Why? Because if one small part of the cloth is torn, if you do not stitch it in time, it keeps on increasing. The tear keeps growing. Okay, so you have to put 9 stitches later and you will be wasting your time on it. That is the basic idea behind this saying or this proverb. Alright, but here it is not in the form of a proverb. Here it actually tells you the meaning of the proverb. A stitch in time saves time. You will not have to put 9 stitches later. Coming to the next example here. The principal has announced the name of the winners. The principal shall be announced the names of the winners. The principal would announced the names of the winners. The principal was being announced the names of the winners. So which one is the right one? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Let's see what you think by starting this timer. And the answer is the first one. The principal has announced the names of the winners. Okay, coming to the second last example in this pattern, you have these 4 sentences for you, or this new set of sentence for you. The roads must have been repaired by now. The roads must have been repaired by now. The roads must be repairing by now. The roads had been repaired by now. So which one is the correct one? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Come on, think, think, think. And the answer is option number 2. The roads must have been repaired by now. Okay, coming to the last, you can say, example in this pattern. The four sentences are: the fund has been donating by the Prime Minister, the fund is been donating by the Prime Minister, the fund is donated by the Prime Minister, the fund were donating by the Prime Minister. So which one could be the right answer? 10 seconds to think. And the answer is option number 3. The fund is donated by the Prime Minister. Simple. Okay. Coming to the next pattern, pattern 3. Identify the correct tense form in the given sentences. So you have to identify which is the correct tense form. So here is your sentence for you. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So is it simple present tense? Is it present perfect tense? Is it present perfect continuous tense? Or is it present continuous tense? So which one is it? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Thinking time. Answer is option number 1. Simple present tense. Now it is a saying, it is a universal truth, it is a proverb. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That is, if you have one bird in your hand and there are two inside the bush and you want to catch those two and you let go of this, that is also gone and this is also gone. So it is a simple present tense. So most of the proverbs also are in simple present tense. Okay. Moving on to the next example for here for us. By this time next year, Rahul will have become a graduate. So is it simple future tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense, or present perfect continuous tense? Now I'm sure after the clues that we talked about, you will be able to recognize the answer. So here goes your timer. So the answer is the second one, future perfect, because there is will and there is have. So it is a future perfect tense. Okay, coming to question number 13. Our students had participated in the drawing competition. What is the tense here? Is it future perfect tense? Is it present perfect tense? Is it past perfect continuous tense? Or none of these? So which one is the correct answer? Here goes your timer. And the answer is the third one. It is a past perfect tense. Okay, moving on to the next example. We have she had had her breakfast by that time. She had had her breakfast by that time. Let us take a look at the options. So is it past continuous tense? Is it past perfect tense? Is it past perfect continuous tense? Or simple past tense? Which one is it? She had had her breakfast by that time. Okay, so let's start our clock. And the answer is option number 2. Past perfect tense. She had had her breakfast. Okay, so that is past perfect because one had is the verb and the other had is showing the form. Coming to the last example here in this pattern, I will be helping Anita tomorrow. So let's see what are the options. So is it future continuous tense? Is it future perfect tense? Is it future perfect continuous tense? Or is it simple future tense? Which one is it? Here goes your timer. And the answer is yes, it is the first one. It is a future continuous tense, will and ing form of the verb. Okay, children, so this was the third pattern. Now we come to the last pattern for today. Choose the correct tense forms of the verbs to complete the conversations. So here is the first conversation for you. I wonder what he will do if he leaves this job. Now I have left out certain parts of this conversation because it will not fit into the page. Okay. Now it might be, I wonder what he will do if he leaves his job, said the teacher or said the officer. But that is not an important part of the conversation. The main thing is we are focusing on the tenses here. So the answer is, oh, I'm sure he dash another one soon. So, oh, I'm sure he shall get, he will be getting, or he will have got another one soon. So, which one will be the correct answer? Come on, think. So, which one is the right option, children? It is option number 2. Oh, I'm sure he will get another one soon. Okay, coming to the next question in this pattern, question 17. Is Mr. Shastri still in school? Yes, he dash teaching in our school since 1990. So he is teaching in our school since 1990. He was teaching in our school in science since 1990. He has been teaching in our school since 1990. He have been teaching in our school since 1990. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one is the correct answer? Here goes your clock. And which one do you think is the right answer? Yes, it is option number 3. He has been teaching in our school since 1990. Coming to the next question, question number 18. What were you doing when the lights went off? I had dash for quite some time before the lights went off. I had wrote for quite some time. I had was writing for quite some time. I had been writing for quite some time. I had written for quite some time. So what will be the correct answer? I had what? Think. Yes, and the answer is option number 3. I had been writing for quite some time before the lights went off. Okay, I had been writing before the lights went off. The second last question in this particular video, what were the girls doing when you spotted them? The girls dash some sort of argument with the boys. So the girls had some kind of arguments with the boys. The girls shall having some sort of argument with the boys. The girls was having some sort of argument with the boys, or the girls were having some sort of argument with the boys. So come on, put on your thinking caps. And the answer is option number 4. The girls were having some sort of argument with the boys. And we come to the last example question in this particular lesson based on tenses. It is question number 20, and here is the conversation. What have you been doing all this while? Asked mother. I dash for the guests since morning, replied Nina. I have been waiting for the guests. I waited for the guests. I have waited for the guests, or I had been waiting for the guests. So, what is the correct answer? Now, remember, when we are talking about a conversation, you will also have to pay attention to the question. the tense in the question. You think about that and decide the tense in the answer. So, which is the correct answer? Think. And the answer is option number 1. I have been waiting for the guest since morning. The question is, what have you been doing? So, I have been waiting. Okay, children, so this was an interesting video based on the lesson tenses. Okay, now please watch the entire video, and after you finish watching the video, there are certain tasks that I have set for you. So please complete the task also in the way you will learn more. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much. So children, now you have watched the video. So after you watch the video now, you will have to complete a few simple tasks. Now you might have watched the video on your computers or your laptops or your mobile phones. Now after you watch the video, what will you do? You will please go to the description box which is given below the video. So what is the description box? See, the description box looks like this. Alright, and after you go to the description box, you will see that there are a few questions there. Now what are these questions about? These questions are about the lesson that we just learned or the video that you just watched. So what will you do? You will think back properly about the lesson and you will try and answer these questions and note down the answers in your notebook if you want. Okay? After that, we have another task waiting. You will also click on the link which you will find in the description box to fill up the Google form. So now what is the Google form, children? It is nothing but a simple form. There are a few simple questions there about the video which you just saw and also about yourself. So these are the tasks now that you will have to complete after you watch each video. So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learned a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.